terrified of the phone or making calls or doing sales isn't really something that's that comfortable for you, listen to this video, okay? What I'm gonna talk about in this is, what do you do if you're terrified of the phone? You've been watching some of these videos, you know that in order to get deals or in order to speed up your deals, you need to pick up the phone and start freaking calling people, but it scares the living crap out of you. And let me tell you, I wanna share something about one of my students that I had in my program in the very, very beginning. This individual, we're talking, I'm going through it, and I'm like, look, here's the deal. And he's like, look, I understand. He's like, I am in. However, there's a catch. I said, okay, what's that? And he's like, I'm terrified of the phone. And I was like, oh, I get it. Yeah, and no, you don't. He's like, I'm so terrified of the phone. He's like, Nick, I won't even answer the leads because I don't know what to say. And it freaks me out, and I feel like I'm gonna say something wrong and all this stuff. So he goes, I'm terrified of the phone. This is a grown man. Nothing wrong with him, speaks completely normal. I mean, everything looks fine on paper, but he's terrified of the phone. And I'm like, I appreciate you sharing that. I said, jump in and let's see what happens. Because I guarantee if you send the leads in advance, it's gonna do most of the selling for you, okay? And so to fast forward that story, within 3 weeks, this guy got his very first deal for $1,500 a month. And at this point, he's doing over $6,000 per month on a flat fee, okay? Now, this specific person, his case study, all of his posts, etc., they're in both the Discord and the Facebook group if you wanna go and check those out. So you know that I am not just yanking your chain. His name is Karim, K-A-R-I-M. You can go look at all of his stuff, okay? But the reason that I'm sharing that story is because I want to tell you what he did and what you can do and what helped him get over that fear of the phone, okay? Before we started working together, what he was doing is, well, he wasn't doing a lot, but the times that he did take action, and those are the times that kind of freaked him out, is he would just go to Google and he would type in, concrete or roof repair or duct cleaning, and he'd pick up the phone and he'd start calling people. But he didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to say to these people, okay? Like, he's like, do I tell them, I can rank their website? Do I tell them I have some leads? Do I tell them, or do I ask them if they're looking to grow? Like, I didn't know. So the number one thing, and this is me talking to him, interviewing him, and said, hey, what was the difference? You were terrified of the phone a couple weeks ago. Now you got a deal, and now he's at 6K. It's like, well, what was the difference? And the difference was, and he told me a couple things because I got this feedback. He said, number one is I had a script, okay? I gave him a script, and it gave him confidence, even though it's not something that was comfortable for him. Having a script that wasn't just a random script he pulled offline, off of the internet, but a script that he knew I was using, that other people were using in my program, that he knew that worked because it's been proven. It gave him confidence to make these calls because he's like, okay, I may be terrified, but at least I know I'm saying the right thing. So number one was the script. Number two was I showed him, I said, look, before you even generate any leads, before you go down the rabbit hole, let's go and build a list of people who are already sold on your product, which is leads, right? Tree leads or whatever the niche was, okay? So we went and together, I showed him, I said, hey, by the way, when I say together and I showed him, he watched our training and he was in our program, but he built a list of people already paying for advertising, paying for leads. And so that was piece number two. He's like, hey, I had a script I knew worked, and I'm calling people that I already know are interested because they're already paying. So either they're interested or they just hate money, right? And I don't know a whole lot of people that hate money, so I'm assuming they want to grow. They like leads. They like more business. And so he's like, combine the two facts of I got a script that works and I got a list of people that I know are interested. And the third piece is I said, I don't need you to call until you have a lead. Until you have a customer, a tree service customer in his city or her city, the person you're calling, I do not want you to call. So the three things, he's like, I had a script that worked. I had a list of people I knew were interested in leads and business because they're already paying for it. And I wasn't calling with an ask. I was calling them, and I am calling them with something to give them. I had a hot lead that was completely exclusive that nobody had before. It was a brand new hot lead, and I was calling and giving them a lead. So instead of calling and asking, I was calling and giving. He said, that's the difference, man, is I had those three things. Before, I was calling people that I didn't know were interested. I didn't know what to say, and I was asking. Contrast that with, I have a script that I know works, I have a list of people that I know are willing to buy because they're already paying, and I'm not asking, I'm giving. Those three things, my friends, change the entire game for this individual. So if you are terrified of the phone, you're terrified of picking up the phone and doing sales and all that, because I get it. I really, really do. I remember my first day doing door-to-door sales. I was sick. I had to go to the bathroom and you can probably imagine what I'm talking about. Like, I was literally and physically sick because I was going to go and cold call people. I do get it. I've done thousands of reps. I have done thousands of closes. I have done thousands of door knocks and cold calls. And that's how I've gotten to this point. But guess what? It still gives me the butterflies, okay? It does. And I kind of like it at this point. But if you're terrified of the phone, those are my suggestions. Is make sure you have a list of people that are already willing to buy, okay? Make sure that you have a script that works, that's been tested, tried and true, and make sure you're going in giving first. Give value up front before you ask.